In ancient times, while the world trembled with wars and the splendor of kings, 5 significant figures found turning points in their lives. Cleopatra was the last ruler of Egypt from the Ptolemaic dynasty. Well-educated and remarkably talented in languages, grammar, and literature, her beauty became legendary as a queen. She had a great love affair with Marcus Antonius, one of Rome's powerful leaders. Antonius governed the eastern provinces of the Roman Empire, and his relationship with Cleopatra stirred reactions in Rome. This was because Antonius, a leader in Rome, was married to Octavian's sister. This situation led to wars that would eventually seal the fate of Egypt and Cleopatra. Nevertheless, their love persisted for a decade, and Cleopatra bore 3 children to Antony. Antony was blinded by his deep love for Cleopatra to legally marry the woman he loved. He divorced the sister of Rome's leader, Octavian, enraged by Antony's disrespect towards both his sister and himself, accused Antony of betrayal against Rome due to his alleged infatuation with Cleopatra, leading to a declaration of war. Cleopatra and Antony were defeated by Octavian in the Battle of Actium. Upon hearing false news of Cleopatra's death, Antony took his own life. Only later did the wounded Antony learn of Cleopatra's survival. With Octavian's permission, Antony was brought to the queen and breathed his last in her arms. Later, Cleopatra ended her life by allowing herself to be bitten by an asp, thus concluding the lineage of Ptolemaic rulers in Egypt. Russian Empress Catherine II's most compatible lover was Potemkin, 10 years her junior. Potemkin was highly intelligent and played a role in the coup that brought Catherine to power. Catherine also had brief affairs with other men in the palace, though Potemkin felt jealous. He turned a blind eye to her escapades as he couldn't oppose the empress. Indeed, Potemkin was the only one allowed to enter Catherine's bedroom without permission. From 1790 onwards, Potemkin led the Russian army in the Ottoman-Russo Wars. Unable to bear loneliness, the 60-year-old Catherine began an affair with Platon Zubov, 38 years her junior. Learning of this relationship, Potemkin, filled with jealousy, hastily returned to St. Petersburg to separate the couple. However, he couldn't part Catherine from Zubov. He was compelled to return to the battlefield. The stress of Catherine falling out of favor, coupled with illness, led to her death. Potemkin's demise shocked Catherine. She knew she wouldn't find another man as intelligent, devoted, and politically astute as he was. Catherine, enslaved by her sexual fantasies, had destroyed a man deeply in love. The love story of King Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson ranks among the most emotional and meaningful in history. Wallis has met Prince Edward, the heir apparent in England, during her second marriage. Wallis captivated Prince Edward instantly with her elegance and sophistication. A love story that would go down in history blossomed between them. However, significant obstacles stood in the way of their lifelong union. The British royal family refused to approve their marriage. Because of her two previous marriages, King Edward knew a decision had to be made. In 1936, King Edward, in a highly charged and resolute radio announcement, declared his abdication from the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, the woman he was madly in love with. He abdicated in favor of his brother, shocking the entire nation. 6 months later, Edward and Wallis married in a highly romantic ceremony at the Château d'Écond in France. With this marriage, Edward lost his crown and assumed the title of Duke of Windsor. Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal remained married for 19 years. They shared such a profound love that not a single day passed without them being together. In times of war and peace, Mumtaz Mahal always walked by Shah Jahan's side. Mumtaz Mahal, who bore them 3 daughters, died from complications of childbirth. She had just turned 38. Shah Jahan declared a 2-year period of mourning and couldn't recover. He lived, but merely existed. Out of immense love for his beloved wife, he commissioned the Taj Mahal as a monumental tomb. Its construction took 22 years. He had ornate gates installed, each a masterpiece. Shah Jahan took his last breath gazing at the Taj Mahal and was laid to rest beside Mumtaz Mahal, their eyes forever fixed upon the Taj Mahal. Prince Pedro, heir to the Portuguese throne, fell in love with one of his servants, Inés de Castro, while he was to marry Constance from the Kingdom of Castile. His father, King Afonso IV, opposed this relationship and ordered a group of men to kill Inés. After Inés's death, Pedro was engulfed in profound sorrow. Life has no meaning for him anymore. Pedro had Inés crowned as queen, becoming the first and only Portuguese queen to be crowned posthumously. Pedro ordered that his own tomb be placed next to his beloved's, desiring them to remain side by side for it. However, from the 20th century onwards, their tombs are located facing each other rather than side by side, in the Alcobaça monastery. These five great leaders sometimes abandoned their thrones and splendors for the sake of love. At times, they also witnessed that the throne and splendor did not bring happiness. The throne of love would forever shine in their stories, but this radiance would often be lost beneath the shadow of tragedy.